Hey everybody, today I would like to bring you along with me as I set up an Erin Condren Frankenplanner. Now if you've been around the planner community for a while, you are probably familiar with the term Frankenplanner, but just in case you aren't, essentially what you do when you create a Frankenplanner is you take elements of different planners, notebooks, and things like that and put them together into something that's going to work really well for you. So I chose this beautiful Erin Condren Vertical Life Planner as my main planner, and I'm going to be combining this with a few different notebooks, also from Erin Condren. So I have one of their notebooks that is the Priorities and Notes notebook that has this sort of 6 grid layout and then a note page, and it just repeats like that. I have one of the Erin Condren monthly project notebooks. It looks like this, where it starts off with the project and then you can sort of update the status. This is really good for long-term planning. And then after this spread, you just have some blank note pages. I have a productivity notebook, which I love these for breaking down larger tasks. It has sort of a notes section, some bullet points, a vertical notes section, some bullet points. So I find this to be very helpful. And finally, I just have one of the dot grid notebooks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take pieces of each of these and turn it into a Frankenplanner. Now, because I have so much going into this one planner, I'm just going to do 1 quarter at a time. So this Frankenplanner will go from January through March, and then I will repeat this process again for my quarter 2 Frankenplanner. So I intend to use this cover and then this rose gold coil that I really like. So that I will keep together. I also bought these snap-in pocket dashboards. Now I know a lot of people preferred the clear ones that are currently out of stock, and I don't know if they're going to bring those back. But fortunately these colors actually kind of match the planner that I chose. So I'll be incorporating those as well. And we are just going to dive right in. So if you've never seen a Frankenplanner process video before, essentially what we do is we start by removing the cover. So I'll go ahead and do that now. Last piece always wants to stick. And then you are going to take your pliers and essentially just bend this wire out. So I start actually with my fingers and kind of bend it like this, and then you just need it straight enough to where you can start to uncoil it. So I will probably speed this process up, but essentially I'm just going to uncoil this whole thing. So here we go. Okay, so there is my coil. I'm just going to set this aside. So like I said, this Frankenplanner is just going to be 3 months worth. So I'm going to start by just removing those pages and setting them aside. And then I'll take the rest of these. And actually, I think I'm going to take the notes and goals section off the back as well. And I'll just put the rest of this aside for the next time. Then I'm going to do that same process with each of these notebooks, and then I will come back and we will start to assemble. taken apart each of these notebooks and that main planner. So let's make some space to start assembling this thing. Now, each person is going to have different needs for their planner. For me, I have a lot of different plates spinning, just like many of you, I'm sure. For me personally, I am just looking to create this planner for my work. I'll be doing a different planner for sort of my life and home admin stuff, but we're going to start here with just my work. So I'm going to turn to January to start. So I am an author. I write under a couple of different pen names, but this year I'm going to be focusing on one of them. So that side of my business is going to need space in this planner. I also have a digital product business for authors and creative business owners, so that business will need space in this planner. And finally, I also have a small business where I design curriculum for teachers. I was a classroom teacher for 10 years before I decided to stay home. And so now I design curriculum for other teachers. So that's sort of my third plate that I have spinning. And so I'm hoping to create space in this planner for all three of those businesses. So if we look at the Erin Condren planner, we start off with this sort of dashboard page, and then there's a plain notes page, and then we go into each of the individual weeks. Now, one of the reasons I chose this planner is because it has the 3 vertical boxes. So if I think about those 3 aspects of my business, my author business, my digital product business, and then my teacher business, each of those will be able to have a row in this planner going forward. But where I'd like to add some pages is here at the monthly dashboard. So I need to have a few different things. So for the teacher product business, I need to have some form of long form content for each month. And that is usually in the form of a blog post to go along with some of my products. So what I'm thinking is I will add in one of these for that sort of long form content. Maybe that would be 4 blog posts, and then my newsletter, and then a note to followers on that teacher site. So that would be this page, and then I can have some notes to sort of jot down ideas for that. I do also think though that I'm going to want some more planning pages to use for each of those. So I think the next thing I want is actually some of this dot grid paper, so I can sort of mind map out the month. So that would be that front and back. And then I want some of the productivity pages for each of those pieces of long form content. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this. So then each month I would have my regular monthly dashboard. I would have this 6 grid here, a dot grid page, and then 4 pieces of that productivity notebook. That would be for my teacher business. Then for my digital product business for authors, I sort of want the same thing. So I'm going to have my long form content planner. I'm going to have some dot grid paper, and then I'm going to have 4 spreads of the productivity. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 in here. So this is why I'm only doing a quarterly planner. This thing is going to get kind of chunky if I'm not careful. So then let's just double check. I have my monthly overview, my monthly dashboard. Then for my teacher business, long form content planning, and then my productivity spreads there. Then into my digital product business with the same thing, my long form content planning. And then for my author business, I'm going to have one of these 6 grid things so that maybe I could do, if they're not full pieces of long form content, at least something where I'm trying to work on marketing. So I'll have that, and then I'm going to put a couple of dot grid pages in and a couple of these productivity pages. Then I will have my regular month with all of the scheduled things. Okay, so then this is about what a month in this book would look like. That feels kind of doable. The only thing that I haven't added was this monthly project notebook. Now for me, this is really only applicable for the author business. So what I'm going to do So I'm going to add in some of this, this project planning stuff here. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a whole set of those, and those I am going to put in at the beginning of the month. And I will add those in. I'm going to add those in right here. Okay, so then put all that together, and here is 1 month. So now I'm going to go ahead and repeat that same process for February and March. All right, so now I have put together each of those 3 months. I have my January and February and March, as well as that 2024 overview. And as you can see, it is getting pretty thick already. So I want to take a look at the sort of back matter of the planner that came with it. There was a notes section, and then there is a goals section. And I think what I intend to do, because there are quite a few goal pages here, I think what I'm going to do is just focus on a few for this first quarter of the year. And so I'm going to go with one primary goal for each aspect or each part of my overall business. So this would be 1, 2, and 3. I think that's what I want to do. It's so hard to know because obviously I don't want to leave, you know, this back one by itself, but maybe that will be okay. There are so many of these goal pages. Then after all of the goal pages, oh, here we go. Here's what I'll do. We will end like this, and then it goes into this sort of celebrate the wins. I'm going to save this for the end of the year. And then we have sort of these observances. So I am going to end here with this goal and then some notes pages. I'll grab one of these so I can have the trackers. Just like this. Perfect. Okay. Then I'll have a notes page. I'll keep these awareness days, my contacts, and then just sort of looking ahead to next year. There are a bunch of stickers in the back. I don't think that I need these actually in my planner, so I'm going to take those out. But I do like this pocket in the back, so I'm going to keep that. So all in all, let's take a look at my quarterly business planner. I'm going to go ahead and grab that rose gold coil again, and hopefully Yeah, this should be okay. So now we are going to recoil, and basically I'm going to work backwards from where I started before. So obviously you need to get your pages nice and lined up. And then essentially you're just going to do the reverse of what you did to remove the coil. If you have a coil that is, you know, an ombre or different colors, obviously you want to make sure that you have it positioned the way that you want it. But since I'm just using a solid cover or solid color coil, that's not quite as important to me. So I am going to go ahead and start this recoiling process. I'm going to speed it up and I will show you my final product at the end. So I'm just past the halfway point here, and obviously this would probably be easier if I use some sort of a binder clip to hold all these pages together, but I don't like the dents that they put in the pages, so that's why I'm just holding it with my hand. It probably would go faster if it doesn't bother you. If there's little binder clip marks on your planner, you could certainly give that a try, or if you had any sort of book binding press, that would probably also work really well here. But I don't have those things, so I'm just doing it by hand. But if you find that you're having difficulty with it, you might even try a binder clip with some fabric beneath it or something like that to prevent the marks on your planner. But then it might just be a little bit easier on your hands. So if you're somebody who struggles with carpal tunnel or arthritis or anything like that, and you're unable to, you know, maintain this, you know, grip on the book as you're rebinding it, that might be something to try. All right, we're almost done. Okay, so here is my pages rebound. Now to get the coil back, I'm just going to sort of bend it back into place. This top one isn't quite so bad. The bottom one is really where I had to bend it quite a bit to get the binding where I needed it. So just going to take a minute here, and I am going to bend this down and tuck it in. Okay, so now all I need to do is put my covers back on. So I'll grab those. Got so many covers here. Here we go. And to put the cover back on, these just snap back into place. So just line it up, and you can sort of roll the coil a little bit. You just sort of press and kind of wiggle the coil. It does help to get that cover snapped back into place. The back cover. Okay, so there is my completed Frankenplanner for the months of January, February, and March. In my next video, I am going to go over the rest of my planner lineup for 2025 because I am someone who likes to use multiple planners as I am planning out my year and my content and getting all of my thoughts on the page. So please stay tuned for our next video and we'll go over the rest of that planner lineup. I hope you all have a wonderful day. See you next time.